I am not a flashy guy and I'm not particularly attracted to divers. Every once in a while, though, you see something that is the polar opposite of what you usually like, but it's so unexpected and so well put together that you have to get it. This is not a stealth tool watch, this is the Revelot Hexmariner 39.
So what you want?
Founded 5 years ago, Revelot have struck gold with last year's release of the R11 Hexmariner. After having raised 170,000 US dollars on Kickstarter for the project, Kevin, the owner of this Malaysian brand, has decided not to rest on his laurels but to actually study the market and listen to prospective buyers in order to create an even better timepiece. More angles, out with the rubber straps, in with a new bigger clasp, and most important change, down from a 42mm waist to a more accessible and fashionable 39. Of the 12 original dials, only the two Green Army variants are still available, but the brand owner has confirmed a few more watches should be available later on, probably in March. One more reason for you to subscribe and check out my monthly Watches I'm Watching series. Looking at the watch, the first thing that will pop is the gorgeous dial. Neatly arranged rows of pyramids give this dial a completely original 3D texture over which somehow they managed to paint 4 lines of text. The markers are applied lume-filled hexagons, and the symmetry of the dial is perfectly preserved by placing the date at 6. I have to applaud Revelot's decision to keep the date wheel black, as it keeps the watch well balanced. The profile is very cleverly divided into sections that manage to hide the Seiko NH35 induced 13mm height. The crown is well proportioned and well placed between the guards. The male end links are offset by short angular lugs, and the distance between them is a very compact 44mm. There's a highly polished chamfer delimiting the top of the case to its sides, and the piano black ceramic bezel adds a touch of luxury with its multifaceted edge. Speaking of the bezel, its action is precise and crunchy, and there are no alignment issues. The multifaceted 3-link bracelet hugs your wrist while being extremely busy at catching the light through polished chamfers interspersed with the brushed angular links. There's a small taper from 20mm at the lugs to 18 at the clasp. Speaking of the clasp, this is one of the 3 modifications to the previous model. It's now longer and has 5 micro adjustment holes. I initially had some issues with buckling as I had to press it between my index and the thumb, but I'm happy to report it now works as it should. The case back is unique, and it reminds me of those partitions you get in Catholics' confessionals. Luckily, the NH35 powering my watch has not seen much so far. Coming back to the face of the watch, the hands are big and bold, and coupled with the anti-reflective sapphire crystal will ensure good legibility both in the bright sunshine or indoors. The crown action is precise, maybe a bit loose, and of course you can set the date and time precisely, taking advantage of NH35's hacking. On wrist, the Revelot Hexmariner wears true to its 39mm width, and while the quick release pins make it easy to change to a strap, this bracelet is so good looking and so fitting to the watch that not wearing it is simply not an option. This watch is a torch. I only filmed 5 minutes of lunar activity, but 2 hours later there was no change in intensity to the naked eye. Bottom line, my friends, is should you be able to find a Revelot Hexmariner, go right ahead and buy it. There simply is no better diver under $300 on the market. You can thank me by liking this video and subscribing to the channel.